Hello and welcome to Iain's Bricks, and here is my Lego room. And as you can see, there's actually no Lego in it at the moment. I need to sort it out first of all. So what I need to do first of all, basically, the plan is to clear all this stuff out. I've got some tables to put in. I can put all this junk back in underneath the tables and fit it back in the room, and then I can actually start building my my Lego room from there. So first things first, let's get this emptied and see what it looks like empty. Right, as you can see, that's pretty much empty. So I do still have some junk in the bottom corner there, which is fine. I can move that under the tables when I get them in. So this is basically where my boiler goes. It's my boiler. It's not the tidiest room in the world, as in it could do with a lick of paint and whatever. There's a couple of shelves up there, which I'm going to probably just leave. There was a shelf down there. You can see the mark on the wall, which I've moved. Now, the slightly annoying thing is that there is a pipe that goes from the boiler, and it's an overflow pipe that runs the entire length of the room and goes through a point here in the wall, which then leads to basically where the drain goes. I'm not going to be able to remove that, and the annoying thing is it's kind of the same height as the table. So I think the thing to do is to get a table in and see what one of the tables looks like, to see whether or not this pipe around here is going to be an issue or not. So there we have the first table in, and as you can see, as suspected, there's an issue. So unfortunately, this pipe gets in the way. It's sort of just the same height of the table around here. Obviously it does taper off as you go here, so past here it's sort of okay. I'm just not sure now I'm going to have enough room I've got 3 of these tables to go in, sort of 2 that way and 1 at the side. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough room, so this is going to be annoying. So let's get the other 2 tables in and see what they look like. So as you can see with the second table, it just doesn't quite fit. Typical, isn't it? So there's that much of a difference. The problem is obviously it's pressing up against this pipe here. Now the tables do have adjustable legs on them, but they only go up a very small amount, very small amount. So I'm going to have to put something under all of the tables. I've thought about moving this pipe, but it's pretty sealed in quite well. It comes out of these clips okay, but the actual pipe itself is sort of all sealed together. I've even sort of tried to take it from that part of the wall and sort of push it that way. That didn't work either. So I think the only thing is to raise up all of the tables so they're a little bit higher, so the whole lot of the tables go above this pipe, which is slightly annoying because this bit is significantly higher than the tables. So I need to figure out and get something to put underneath. So let's see what I can come up with. So there we have it, all 3 tables are in. I've tried to get the level as best level as I can, which is easier said than done. So how have I managed to get the tables up higher than this pipe? I've actually used polystyrene. Now I know this isn't a permanent thing, I'll probably have to get some pieces of wood, but I just sort of wanted to see how much I needed to raise it by. I had these pieces of polystyrene left from the packaging of these tables. It's all I had. I don't have any sort of spare wood or anything to cut up at the moment, but they're quite firm actually, and they sort of seem to be holding quite well. I can put pressure down on them and they seem to be okay, so we'll have to wait and see. But for now, that'll sort of do. It gives me an idea of the space and the layout that I've got. As you can see, it's fairly small. My city is going to be very compact. This is the only real place I've got in my flat that I can actually get a layout, permanent layout. So to solve the issue of the size of the height of the tables, I've had some blocks delivered. There's a pack of them here, so let's get one of those out and see what they look like. It's pretty good, so hopefully the table should stand on these reasonably well and give them the extra height that they need to get above that pipe. Let's see how they look when they're all in place. There we go, so they're all under there now. They're pretty perfect. I'm really pleased I bought those. Spent a little bit of money on eBay to get them, but they're absolutely perfect for what I need. And what's good, as you can see, is the table just misses those dreadful pipes in there. So there are my tables again, nice and flat. I've got them as flat as I can. There's little gaps in between there, but I don't mind too much as long as the surface is fairly flat, which it is. The wall behind it looks pretty grim. I might have to cover those up with posters or something, not quite sure what. I've taken a shelf off the wall here, so that looks pretty dreadful. But for now, I'm just happy to have the nice flat surface. Let's get some Lego plates and see how big this city is actually going to be. So I've got some of these 48 base plates. I've got 4 of them at the moment, so I'll obviously fill out the whole thing eventually. And as you can see, from the corner to the top, we've got 48, which is 96, and then we've got a 32. But as you can see, it just overhangs by 2, which is slightly annoying. So I'm probably going to have to make that a little bit less. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to solve that, but that's what I'm faced with. So let's have a look and see what it looks like width-wise. So width-wise is much better. As you can see, I can fit 4 of the 48 by 48 base plates in a row. There is an overhang at the side, but that's less of a problem. Yeah, so I'm sort of pleased that we can get the width in. What's interesting, obviously the room is not quite straight because I've got that right into the corner there, and obviously the Lego plates, there is a bit of a gap as that goes along. So they're obviously probably not quite the straightest wall in the world, but I'm sure that's not too much of a problem. So pretty pleased with that. Also tried and see what the 48 by 48 plates look like at the front of the table. So it all looks fine, but as you say, we have this problem where the table's running out, and that's literally the maximum there. So we sort of one Lego stood over, which is slightly annoying, but there may be a way that I can resolve that. Not quite sure. I may have to. I might buy a non-Lego base plate and then cut the edges off or something. I don't know yet, but there's always a way around figuring things out. But for now, it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. Just slightly annoying. It overlaps. It's perfect in the back corner, but not at the front. So obviously, maybe just need to have a rethink there. But yeah, let's have a look and see how the sets are going to look in the city. So the first thing I'm going to do with all the modular buildings is take them off the original base plate that you get with the set and put them on 4 of the 16 by 16 tiles, which are slightly thicker. Like I've done in this particular instance here, I've only got this particular modular building built at the moment, and so the idea with that is build the plate up so that we have a height of around about 2 bricks. So as you can see, this is a bit of a sort of mess of colours at the moment. The colours don't particularly matter because all of this will be hidden. But the idea is to put the roads and the modular buildings on top of these so that it gives me sort of a little bit of depth so I can create rivers or maybe do things in a, so have a bit of height to it as well. So let's see what that looks like with the modular building and some of the road pieces on top. So there we go. So this is sort of what it looks like with sort of half completed. So what I've actually done is I've actually raised up. So where I'm going to have buildings and things on top, I've actually had to raise that up by another plate. So we've got two bricks and a plate as well, which is a third of a plate is a third of a brick. So the height is slightly higher than the road pieces because what I want to have is that lip of the curb showing still. So that's kind of what it looks like there. So let's put the rest of the road pieces and plates in to see what that looks like. And that's what it looks like with one of the base plates completed. So obviously this space here would be where another building, or I've put green down just to signify maybe a park or something like that. And also what I have done is, so on edges that are showing on the front of the display, I've got plenty of these brick wall pieces as well to sort of build that up. That looks pretty good actually. I'm quite pleased with how that looks. And as you can see, it doesn't really matter what colours these bricks are underneath. Just make sure that they're all sort of pushed down and they're all tight in. But yeah, that sort of gives me a lot of opportunities. That's kind of how I want the overall thing to look. And as you can see, there's quite a larger space, but it's not the biggest space in the world. But the plan is to build every single one of the modular buildings. I own all of them apart from the bookshop, which I can get still readily available, so that's fine. And it's going to take me a long time to sort of get to a point where I've got all of the buildings in, but from time to time I'll do a video as to how I've got on with progress of this so far. The first thing I need to do is sort out the base plates and how they're all going to fit in first, because obviously we had a slight issue that the base plates didn't fit exactly. So there's a few options I can do. What I can do perhaps is just use fewer of the bottom base plates and then just sort of put some of these plates in between, somehow fix them on like that, or thinner ones. Don't quite know how I'm going to do it yet, to sort of make up the gap. So there's a few options that I've got to be able to make the difference up. So that's how it will probably look. So if I put this over to the side here, because that's probably where the where that's actually going to go, like that eventually. Obviously I'll tidy this all up here, but that's sort of how that's going to go. I wanted the police station to go at the front of the city, firstly to display this fantastic sign, also because it's one of the newer modular buildings. So I've sort of got a layout plan, but we may have to have a look at that, knowing that we don't, you know, with how many studs wide I've got this whole display. So as you can see, it's going to be small, it's going to be very compact, but hopefully once everything's in place it'll look fantastic. I'm a while away from that yet, but stay and watch this space. I'll do videos from time to time. They're not going to be that often, but every now and again I'll do a city update. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, take care.